Those are some good ideas, Aiken Drum. Sprinkle some chopped chives on top. Poached, I don't know how to do poached. I guess I never learned poached, and I've never really been much of a poached person. But, I don't know. I think that's healthier, right? Poached, it's boiled in water, so it doesn't have the oils and stuff in the butter. So vinegar in a swirl. Wow. I'm gonna have to try it. Maybe I should watch a YouTube video and learn how to do poached eggs. A bit of vinegar sounds interesting. Okay, the vinegar and the swirl is how the chefs do it. Oh, okay, very interesting. All right, well, welcome to the show. I was going to play a little bit more music, but I see that at least 4 of you are here. Wait, I'll play a little bit more while I go get I was warming up my coffee, so give me just 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, thanks for waiting there for just a moment. I put a little bit. I just put a swirl of almond, milk, whatever. I know it's not milk, but it can be used as milk. So I just put that in my coffee. Trying to drink less milk because not that I'm lactose intolerant. It's just that I think I'm actually allergic to it. So I'm trying to avoid it. Although there's nothing better than chocolate chip cookies dunked in a glass of milk, right? Ooh. Okay. Welcome to the live stream. All right, so I'm going to cover a few things today. I'm looking at some stuff on YouTube that I find interesting. I'm gonna give you an update on Rudolph the Tall White Alien. But as written in the description of this video, I want to just hit it with the Reedley biolabs first. There's a lot more going on with that, and so I want to pull up a few videos. Again, as you can see on my ticker tape, if you want to support my streams, podcasts, and blog that I have at notmyrabbithole.com, I'm going to start blogging more, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But if you would like to, well, actually, let me talk about it now for a second. I've been thinking about, I've written a few things. There's like an essay up on my blog, but I'm thinking about actually journaling some of my experiences, and making it a little bit more personalized, or having a tab where I'm kind of journaling. Even this pocket of YouTube that we are connected to, or the various pockets that we're connected to, and the times that we are living. So I'm going to start doing that as well. It looks like the A2 milk. What is A2 milk? Specifically genetically selected cows with different protein types that's easier to digest. Oh, interesting. I'll have to try that. Specifically selected cows. All right. So I'm going to start off with, so I do have this ticker tape going on the bottom. If you do want to support my videos, the information that you get, you appreciate it. Buy me a cup of coffee, whatever. thank you so much. And also I do have in the description a GoFundMe to help support my college fund. As you know, even paying off your loans is expensive. So if you'd like to support me that way, you can find that there. So far, we've raised $650, and I want to thank everybody who has supported me so far. I really appreciate it. And so anyways, enough about that. I'm going to remove this banner, and I'm going to go to the fair use banner. Because I'm going to share a couple of videos, and also I'm not monetizing this video because I am showing. I did get a not copyright strike, like take your channel down copyright, but copyright to where you can't monetize it and the money goes to the actual news station, and rightly so. So I am showing, and I played like the whole videos in its entirety. So just because of that, because I am sharing from the Fox News station, the local Fox News station, I do think that the revenue should go to them. So this video won't be monetized. However, let me pull up the first video I want to share with you. All right, so the first thing I thought was interesting is now the FBI is investigating the Reedley biolab. And again, I'm learning that there was one that was in Fresno up until, I believe, 2019. And then that one was closed. It went to Reedley, but it originated in Tulare. And the company is based in Nevada, but also it connects to a company in China. So they're definitely starting to investigate what is going on here in terms of the lab that had various diseases, one of them being COVID-19, mice, tissue, blood tissue, human tissue, refrigerators. And there was bacteria, E. coli, malaria. There was a lot of diseases that they were doing stuff with. So let's go ahead and share this video and take a look at how the FBI is getting involved now.
Is demanding answers tonight after an illegal medical lab was found in Reedley with more than a dozen infectious diseases.
CBS 47's Medeiros Babb has more on Costa's plan to demand congressional action.
The two companies behind the labs have been operating in California cities, including Tulare, Fresno, and Reedley, and they flew under the radar for 10 years. Now, local government officials saying it's federal legislation.
10 years. They flew under the radar for 10 years.
That needs to change.
A lot of red flags have come up. I mean, the CDC has determined that there's over 20 infectious diseases.
Infectious diseases, thousands of gallons of hazardous chemicals, and bioengineered mice. That was what was found inside of what was supposed to be a vacant Reedley warehouse earlier this year.
Did they say bioengineered mice? Go back. Hold on.
Found inside of what was supposed to be a vacant Reedley warehouse earlier this year.
I think in my mind raises the seriousness that this needs to be addressed at the highest level on the federal side.
Congressman Jim Costa represents the district that Reedley sits in. He says in March he got a call from the Reedley city manager pleading for help, saying the city was sounding alarm since December, but no one was listening.
And the inability to get anyone to be accountable. And either at the county or at the
I don't know. I'm
level.
sorry to bother you again, but maybe I didn't go far enough on the bioengineered mice. I'm sorry. I just want to double check on this. I know it's annoying.
Infectious diseases.
Infectious diseases, thousands of gallons of hazardous chemicals, and bioengineered mice.
Yes.
That was what was found in.
What is a bioengineered mice? Hold on. I got my phone here right now. I want to bioengineered Hold on. Mice. Bioengineered mice. Genetically engineered mice. Transgenic knockout chaos mouse. Wait, we mean information not found. Okay, so it is some sort of, we'll get back to this. All right, so let's keep going. We're going to get back to the bioengineered mice.
Of what was supposed to be a vacant Reedley warehouse earlier this year.
I think in my mind raises the seriousness that this needs to be addressed at the highest level on the federal side.
Congressman Jim Costa represents the district that Reedley sits in. He says in March he got a call from the Reedley city manager pleading for help, saying the city was sounding alarm since December, but no one was listening.
And the inability to get anyone to be accountable, and either at the county or at the state level.
The ball finally got rolling and the court process began to get inside of the lab. What they found inside in the weeks to come would send shockwaves through the community, including vials of blood, 30 refrigerators and freezers, and a laundry list of diseases, including malaria, COVID, E. coli, hepatitis, and several others.
We want to get to the bottom of this, and determine whether or not there's any other.
Actually, I don't think this is the FBI one. This is the Jim Acosta one. So the FBI one is after this. I made a mistake on that. Oh, no, it is. It is the FBI one. Okay.
The potential labs that exist anywhere else in the country, for that matter.
The lab out of Reedley was run by Prestige Biotech.
Go back.
Any other potential.
And a laundry list of diseases, including malaria, COVID, E. coli, hepatitis, and several others.
We want to get to the bottom of this, and determine whether or not there's any other potential labs that exist anywhere else in the country, for that matter.
The lab out of Reedley was run by Prestige.
Would be wild if there was a bunch of these all over the United States.
Biotech, a Nevada corporation that was established in 2019. Prestige is the creditor to Universal Meditech, Inc., a California corporation established in the state nearly 10 years ago in Tulare. The companies flew under the radar and the illegal activity wasn't brought to the forefront until December of 2022. That's because Fresno County Department of Health Assistant Director Joe Prado says clinical lab testing is managed by the state, which enforces federal regulations. That means that county and city governments have no jurisdiction or authority over the labs.
Whatever this business enterprise kind of represents themselves as, they unfortunately do not have to report to the local public health department.
Prado and other city and county officials now calling for a change at the federal level.
And I think there's opportunities for improvement with the regulations there.
Part of the ask is giving local departments at least some jurisdiction. Costa says first the FBI and other agencies need to finish the investigation, but then legislators need to consider changes to stop labs like this one from popping up.
When we get to the bottom of this, we may have to pursue federal legislation that requires approval at the federal level by the Food and Drug Administration, maybe in conjunction with the Center for Disease Control.
And Congressman Costa plans to be briefed by the FBI on the lab shortly, including the connection of the lab to China. Reporting in the studio, Madera Spab, CBS 47.
Oh, yes. Let's definitely talk about the connection to the lab to China. Please, one more time.
With the Center.
And you probably heard my cat. Orlando. He's wanting to be part of the show. So I just got a little distracted there for a second.
Disease control.
And Congressman Costa plans to be briefed by the FBI on the lab shortly, including the connection of the lab to China. Reporting in the studio, Madera Spab, CBS 47, Eyewitness News.
Okay, what comes to mind, and when I say especially it's connected to China, connection to China, is if this wasn't how
Costa's district, which is
if this wasn't how we got COVID spread so quickly everywhere. If it was a lab connected to China, and then we're talking about the gain of function research, right? And then how it never happened in the United States. Well, if this stuff was going on for like 10 years, where there was these rogue biolabs, especially even in California, 10 years that they've been having these labs experimenting with bioengineered mice. I think this is My prediction is that this is not going to, this is going to keep, this is like, it's like a little undercurrent happening right now. I don't see this being national news at the moment. Like, I feel like it's more localized. I mean, I haven't really researched to see if it's national news, but I'm not seeing it being covered on CNN or any of the bigger stations. Aiken, you're leaving messages here. Okay, specifically genetically selected cows with different protein type that's easier to digest. Okay, that's the cows. No DNA modification. That's a while. Okay, so just because I was looking at some comment, there's something else that's going on that I think the comment pertains to. I was in a thread of Willie D Live on some controversy over a Jamie Foxx post, and we're going to get to that in a second. So I have my iPad on the side. You know how you get those notifications. And anyway, I should have just kept that to myself. But yeah, we're going to be discussing Jamie Foxx here a little bit later. But right now, I'm going to find out about bioengineered mice. Okay. Genetically altered mice. Wow. Hold up here a second. Okay. Better mouse models, human therapeutic development. Genetically altered mice, genetically modified mouse, and Wikipedia. Illegal lab in California. Okay, so USA Today's covered it. Illegal lab in California carried bioengineered mice. Oh, wow. Okay, so let's try. I don't want to do Wikipedia because Wikipedia is like not. Let's do, well, here, I clicked on USA Today. I guess it's going to happen. Fairly shocking secret medical lab in California stored bioengineered mice laden with COVID. A months-long investigation to a rural California. Can you see this? Do I have the right? I just want to make sure that you can see what I'm reading. Why is everything stopping? Yeah. Oh, what is this? Okay, yeah, you can see it. This popped up an ad. To catch and carry COVID-19 mice. According to Fresno County authorities, Health and Licensee said Monday that Prestige Biotech, a Chinese medical company registered in Nevada, was operating the unlicensed facility in Reedley, California, a small city about 24 miles southeast of Fresno. The company, according to Reedley manager Nicole Ziba, had a goal of being a diagnostics lab. But how do you know that that was the goal? They never had a business license. The city was completely unaware that they were in this building operating under the cover of the night. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Some of these articles just seem like, well, they were doing some tests. I don't know. It just seems a little casual for me. This is like, okay, so genetically altered mice. Okay, let me see. The other thing. Genetically altered mice, a revolutionary research resource. Important as transgenic mice are, they are really the tip of the iceberg when compared with what we are going to see in the next few years. Janet Rossant. Several hundred mouse stocks containing mutations have been used for a long time as models for human disease and for the study of the metabolic processes. Traditionally, the mutations have been spontaneous or induced by chemicals or radiation. Recently, scientists have gained the ability to create mutant strains by integrating foreign DNA with increasing specificity into the genome of mouse cells. Such transgenes can be added at random to the genome. Offspring of the resulting mouse express the trait coded by the foreign DNA. Alternately, mutations can be targeted at specific loci to produce knockout mice, which do not express the gene or otherwise to alter the gene expression. Those approaches are now revolutionized genetic research. Okay, but it seems like, because like a mutation does randomly happen in a species, and then, you know, I guess you could keep breeding and cultivating that mutation where that maybe that's considered bioengineering. The revolution began in 1974 with Rudolf Janusz and Beatrice Mintz infected mouse embryos with, they infected them with SV40 virus and showed that the viral DNA was integrated in the germline. After this proved that one could insert foreign DNA into the mouse genome, John Gordon and Frank Reedley were able in 1980 to demonstrate how to micro-inject foreign genes directly into the nucleus of the mouse eggs. Thus, any cloned gene sequence could, with careful technique, be integrated into a mouse's DNA. The injected genes insert into the host DNA at random and can be distributed throughout the genome. Transgenic mice are made by using glass micropipettes to inject a solution that contains DNA from a chosen source into the nucleus of a fertilized mouse egg. At times, the foreign DNA will be integrated successfully into the chromosomes of the mouse egg nucleus. The eggs are then transferred to a foster female mouse. The foreign DNA will act as a Mendelian gene in this mouse and be passed on to its offspring, about 10 to 20% of which will carry the new gene. Papers published on the use of transgenic mice, as counted by searching the term transgenic mice on Medline, have grown from 0 to 1980, when transgenic mouse was not yet in common use, to over 700 in 1992. During that 12-year period, perhaps thousands of different transgenic mice have been made in laboratories, often to be used in a few experiments before being discarded. Transgenic mice have become a major research resource, and applications of the transgenic approach have began to infiltrate the world of biotechnology. Wow. Okay, there's more. I'm not going to go any farther than that, but if you're interested, I think this is a pretty good source right here. I'm going to put this in the chat if you want to read any further on that. Oh, hi, Terranium Affirma. Yeah, we are. I'm going over the. I don't know if you know that there's been a rogue bio lab, an unlicensed bio lab that started in Tulare. It went to Fresno. Now it was found in Reedley. The company, the main company, is from China. Also, with office, headquarters in Nevada, and they were using bioengineered mice in what looked like some sort of, well, let's just say this: there were diseases found, human tissue, blood tissue, these bioengineered mice, and they had COVID-19 and malaria and E. coli and all kinds of infectious diseases. And there is now there's now an FBI investigation starting with it. So I did already play the one video, but I'm going to go back to another video that I had marked to share about on this information. So the last one I played was FBI to brief Congressman Costa on Reedley Lab. The title is FBI to brief Congressman Costa on Reedley Lab's connection to China, contents inside lab. That's the title. This is CBS 47 KSEE 24 News. And I'm going to put this into the chat. I know, right? Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Totally. Okay. So now I'm going to go back over to the other video. Congressman Reedley reacts to illegal medical lab. Okay, so this is another update that's taken place. So I'm going to share this one. I want you to look at this video.
He was involved with getting the CDC and federal partners involved with the lab back in March. Now he will soon be briefed by the FBI on this investigation. A key topic of that conversation will be the connection of the lab to China.
This needs to be addressed at the highest level on the federal side.
The question on everybody's
The
mind:
connection of the lab with China.
Who was behind the illegal Reedley Medical Lab where over a dozen infectious diseases, nearly 1,000 bioengineered mice, and other dangerous chemicals were found? Court documents with the representatives from the company say the lab's purpose was for COVID testing.
To get to the bottom of this, we got to find out
The
who
lab's
owns the
purpose
company.
was for COVID testing. I'm beginning to. Well, then why were all the other diseases there?
Find out what the origins were in China. And then we got to find out a response to ensure that in the future, we protect the public health and safety of all Americans.
The company behind the lab, Prestige
No kidding.
Biotech, is a Nevada corporation
Hold on,
established.
go back.
Of all Americans.
The company behind the lab, Prestige Biotech, is a Nevada corporation established in 2019. Court records show that representatives with the company say that they lived in China. While the addresses that they provided could never be completely confirmed, I spoke with several people involved with the company on the phone who had direct knowledge of the people behind the lab. They declined to comment on whether or not the main people behind this lab lived in China. Costa worries about the connection, especially since China continues to hide and misrepresent COVID information, and with several U.S. agencies saying it's possible that COVID leaked from the Chinese lab out of Wuhan.
I think, in the worst case scenario, the COVID spread and the continuing concern by the federal government on a lab in Wuhan, China, comes to mind, and that's a worst case scenario, clearly.
That is why Costa is asking for answers to these questions.
Who owns these labs? Where is the money? Where do you trace the true intent of the products that are being produced? And why are they not being regulated at a level that provides any level of safety or confidence?
Prestige Biotech is the creditor of Universal Meditech, Inc., a California corporation established in the state nearly 10 years ago in Tulare. According to the Business Journal, the company then moved to Fresno in 2019. The company continued to fly under the radar with little oversight despite a fire in 2020. The cause to this date has yet to be determined, and the recalls of thousands of COVID-19 test kits from the company due to a lack of approval and protocol.
You know what came to mind right now is like, was the fire, on purpose? Like, was it to burn things, evidence?
Raises concerns. A Reedley code enforcement officer says she is confident that the test kits made by the company were not manufactured out of Reedley, but says there is a chance they were made in Fresno. One of those questions is how the company was able to operate for so long with so little oversight.
Hold on.
The officer says she is confident that the test kits made by the company and the recalls of thousands of COVID-19 test kits from the company due to a lack of approval and protocols raises concerns. A Reedley code enforcement officer says she is confident that the test kits made by the company were not manufactured out of Reedley, but says there is a chance they were made in Fresno. One of those questions is how the company was.
Is that what burned up?
For so long with so little.
They burned up a bunch of COVID test kits.
Oversight.
You remember for a while some of the test kits were actually contaminated with the virus itself, and I'm just throwing that out there.
A lack of regulations. Coming up at 7, I will break down the regulations of labs just like this one. Reporting in the studio, Medear's Bab, CBS 47, Eyewitness News.
I mean, I don't know if that was like for real or not, but I remember reading that it had happened. Let me just bring that up again. Let me search that for a second. I'm going to see what sources come up. Just, oh, wow. Okay. Okay, yeah. I mean, there were, this is legitimate. Let me show you the links here. Now again, I'm just thinking, all right, I'm not saying this is it, whatever. Okay. I'm just connecting dots that may not have any. If this is like, okay, if this is like, let's say a hypothesis, you'd have to test the theory and see if you can find facts surrounding it, right? New CDC virus tests were contaminated. That's the National Institute of Health.gov. Let's just click in on this and see what this says. An internal review documented 2 serious flaws in the test kits, which were distributed to public health laboratories in early 2020. Analysis of the initial lot of the CDC 2019 novel coronavirus 2019 and COV real time. The start of the COVID-19 pandemic. I guess I got to click onto the whole article. Okay, let me go back here. Do not use certain SD biosensor pilot COVID-19 at-home tests. This is May 4th, 2019. With the contaminated liquid solution may pose safety concerns and the bacterial contamination could impact the performance. FDA warns some COVID test kits may be contaminated. FDA recalls 500,000 COVID test kits due to bacteria. COVID test kits sold via CVS and Amazon are subject to recall because of potential bacterial contamination, the FDA says. I'm not seeing where it's like of the virus, but I thought like maybe that was a conspiracy like way back when they were first being distributed. Washington Post, June 20th, 2020, CDC coronavirus tests were likely contaminated. Let's look at the Washington Post. The test kits for detecting the nation's earliest cases of the novel coronavirus failed because of likely contamination at the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, whose scientists did not thoroughly check the kits despite anomalies during manufacturing, according to new federal review. The review conducted by 2 Department of Health and Human Services lawyers also said there was time pressure at the CDC to launch testing and lab practices that may have been insufficient to prevent the risk of contamination. The review released late Friday nor accompanied the statement from President Trump's chief spokesman, HHS, assigned blame to any CDC. But what were they? The component was intended to detect coronavirus strains other than one of the causes. What's the contamination? Okay, the Washington Post reported on April 18th that the test kits had generated false positive results caused by the CDC's contamination at 24 of the first 26 public health labs. So were they contaminated with the virus itself? I mean, the Post also reported that the examination by the Food and Drug Administration concluded that the test failed because of substandard manufacturing practices and that the CDC violated its own laboratory protocol in making the kits. Okay, so they were ineffective with false positives, but what were they contaminated with? Okay, the contamination most likely occurred in CDC's respiratory virus diagnostic lab during its processing and testing of materials produced by the core lab, the review said. Okay, but what did it get contaminated with? It's still kind of vague, right? I don't know. I'm going to leave this in the Washington Post link if you want to take a look at it yourself. I'm going to put this right here. No. Stop that. He's wanting to, no, not the chair. No, that's not a scratching post. No. Okay. Come here. No. We don't do that. Okay, so I put that in the chat as well. All right, so the next thing, I'm gonna switch gears here because, like, again, I said rogue biolabs and more, and the more is going to be. I found. Oh my God. I found another Rudolph the Tall White Alien. I really haven't even looked at it. But what I find interesting is that one of the most recent videos is secret ancient German defense exercise against evil forces. And he's wearing his leather jacket that, he says women really like because they like the leather. So I'm going to share this again. Hold on, let me bring this up more. So we're going to take a look at the tall white alien, Rudolph the Tall White Alien. And let's get ready for this. Here we go.
Greetings, my human friends. This is Rudolph of Germany, the tall white alien. After all these educational, historical videos I have made, it's about time to take a rest.
Okay, historical videos that he's made. All right. Okay, go back.
Time to take a rest. It's about time to do some exercises. And here I would like to show you some very simple ones, which are not so much aimed at your physical well-being, but rather of your spiritual and mental inner life. This is an age-old Aryan German hybrid exercise, which has been proven to be of very large.
I know I'm part German myself, but I mean I don't know much about that culture in the sense. But I'm thinking, is this factual? Like, is this a known German exercise? Did he say exercise? Hold on, it's well known
to be of very large benefit to the ones who are already hybrids and the ones who are well on their way.
Okay, so I didn't find, maybe I didn't go back up far enough for my question, but not only are there German alien hybrids, but there's people that can become hybrids and they're on their way to being a German alien hybrid. So
first of all,
this exercise is for everyone. So here we go. It's just interesting to do an exercise in a leather coat. That must have cost him a pretty penny too, because that's I think that's not pleather, that's real leather.
Dressed in your most comfortable, light clothing you have or you use usually.
Most comfortable light clothing, but like a leather is not necessarily the most comfortable light clothing. But hey,
for exercise, as I just said.
okay.
After this, you just stand with your legs a little bit separated and take.
I'm thinking sweatpants is comfortable light clothing, not leather. But what? Okay, I
3 deep breaths in and out.
This looks like normal exercise. This is normal.
This done, you just stretch one leg and then the other in one and the other direction and start with the actual cleansing exercise for your inner being, so your mind will come to relaxation and all the stress and negative influences which have been piling up inside of you have to be loosened and expelled. And this is done as follows. First, you take your hands to the lowest chakra, extended about 10 centimeters or 3 to 4 inches from your body, and start slowly going with your hands up to the top of your head. This way, you move the lower energies through your system all the way up to the crown of your head and loosen this way all the residue which has been settling in the 7 chakra points.
Yeah, that's funny. Aiken Drum, I don't know if he's going to start squatting, but this is just very, there's nothing special here other than the fact that he's wearing a long leather coat while he's doing it. And he has a thick German, I mean, this is like, very, like, I'm just going through it, right? Oh man, this is just, okay, and then he's gonna turn off the video. Okay, let's go. Let's just see where it ends. Let's see where it ends. Okay. Yeah, he didn't squat, actually. I didn't see any squatting. Did you, Aiken? I didn't see any squatting.
And your crown chakra as well. This, my dear friends, was my chakra cleansing exercise from negative influences, from outside forces, from outside evil forces for today. After you have done this exercise, you will feel immediately a relief. You might lay down and do the chapel cleansing, which I have been teaching you before, and take a nap of about 1 hour. Your Rudolf of Germany. Thank you for watching this exercise video.
And like he does have like the almost like the Gestapo boots, right? It's like he's got the big thick. Oh wow. Okay. That was, I hope you, so just to support, I mean, like when I do talk about somebody, I don't want to just like not promote their channel too. I mean, if I want to be gracious in that sense, since I am featuring him on my critiquing it. Going, well, this is a little bizarre. Just a little. Because they did do a show dedicated to the tall white aliens. So, yeah, then have an hour nap, and it's specific too. Don't do 45 minutes. Don't do an hour and 15 minutes. It's an hour. Make sure that you do an hour nap. I'm assuming like you could take an hour nap. You could take an hour nap. Oh, okay. That is. That's fun. Okay, couple more things. I'm going to finish off with Willie D Live talking about an Instagram post by Jamie Foxx that caused some controversy. And then I also want to give a shout out to Intel Woman. She's has something where if you go to her channel, I thought I had it pulled up here, but she's doing like a spoof on the med beds, which I think is going to be really funny. That's Intel Lady. There's a live stream that she's doing later. Maybe I'll try to pull her channel up here in a second. But right now, let me see. Maybe I have it. I'm going to go with the Jamie Foxx story. Yeah. Okay, the Jamie Foxx story. This is Willie D Live. He is he was a rap artist, or is a rap artist. I enjoy his commentary, and this I'm going to bring this out just for contemplation. Okay, here we go. Oh, by the way, I'm about you guys. I watched They Cloned Tyrone on Netflix, and it really left me thinking about oppression, slaves. I don't know. You just have to watch it. It's got a double meaning. I'll maybe analyze it on Rumble or something, but. For now, it's good. Matter of fact, I might even watch it again. I highly recommend it if you have Netflix to watch. They Cloned Tyrone, because this is the movie that he got ill on, and then from that, all these cloning commentary around Jamie Foxx has been. You guys probably already know this. If you look on YouTube, you'll find a lot of discussion on that. So here we go.
It's talking about.
What's up, family? Jamie Foxx is apologizing for alleged anti-Semitic remarks he made on social media about Jewish people killing Jesus. What do y'all think about that, fam? That's heavy right there. Blaming the Jews on killing Jesus. What did Jamie say? Well, he took to Instagram and said this. They killed this dude named Jesus. What do you think they'll do to you? Hashtag fake friends. Hashtag fake love. He dropped that on Instagram Friday, and the Jewish community was swift to respond. I'm talking Flash Gordon Swift, which prompted Jamie to write this apology. I want to apologize to the Jewish community and everyone who was offended by my post. I now know my choice of words have caused offense, and I'm sorry. That was never my intent. To clarify, I was betrayed by a fake friend, and that's what I meant with they, not anything more. I only have love in my heart for everyone. I love and support the Jewish community. My deepest apologies to anyone who was offended. Nothing but love always. Jamie Foxx. All right, fam, what do y'all think about that?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I think about it. Now, he's going to go into the topic of, who exactly killed Jesus and maybe historically where that came from. But my thought is that he was directing. He made an Instagram post about, I guess he was betrayed or, something. He had some sort of falling out with a group of people, and he said, used it as like, these are the type of people that killed Jesus. He wasn't being group specific. He didn't call out. He could have said the Egyptians or the pharaohs or whatever, but he didn't mention a particular group of people being responsible for that. So what I think happened is that the person who he has the problem with read that, or the group of people that he had a problem read that, and decided to gaslight him by saying that it was anti-Semitic. That's what they forgot, though, that there's no evidence of him singling out any one group of people as being responsible for killing Jesus. And I left a comment on this video, and I pretty much said that. And some people have liked it, and there's been, some responses to it. But if you look at the video, you want to get involved in the dialogue of it. I'm going to post this also in the chat.
Jamie Foxx called out the Jewish community for killing Jesus. Or was it just one big misunderstanding?
He
said they killed Jesus. Not to defend Jamie Foxx, even though if I wanted to defend him, I would, because I'm gonna speak my mind. But just hearing when he say they killed Jesus, how many times have people said they killed Jesus and just mean that whoever Jesus' murderers were killed him? I never really even put two and two together. I never put the two together because, quite frankly,
Here's the deal. We know that that is Mel Gibson's version of that, in the movie, right? So that's what enraged or was blamed as being that was his version of the story of the crucifixion of Jesus. I find it really hard to watch his movie with Jim Caviezel, just because it's so painful. I mean, it's so realistic that I haven't really been able to get through it, to be honest with you. But that was like the controversy about that movie when it came out, and it made people angry. It made the Jewish community angry.
Got my own thoughts. Here's the interesting thing about the argument of whether or not Jewish people killed Jesus. In 1965, as part of the Vatican II Council, the Catholic Church published a long-anticipated declaration offering a new approach to the question of Jewish responsibility for the crucifixion of Jesus. The document argued that modern Jews could not be held responsible for Jesus' crucifixion, and that not all Jews at the time of Jesus' crucifixion was guilty of the crime.
See, I thought it was the pharaohs. I thought it was the he pissed off the pharaohs, the Egyptians. That was my upbringing and understanding it.
Now, the Jewish community wanted that document to come back and totally absorb them of any responsibility of killing Jesus. That didn't happen, but it was a smaller step in the right direction as far as they're concerned. Now, I've heard many times historians will say that the Jewish people are not responsible for Jesus' death. It was the Romans, because the Romans practiced crucifixion, not the Jews. And then you have those who say, no.
The Romans.
It was the Jews who killed Jesus.
Okay, so anyway, that's kind of the point. I thought that I was looking at that today, and I thought that was really interesting. And the fact that a lot is going on around Jamie Foxx. with his illness, the secrecy of his illness, the clone rumors, the they clone Tyrone connection. There's been, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but there's a lot that I've looked about in terms of Jamie Foxx and discussions of Jamie Foxx on the online forum. So I don't know. And then there's this, and this kind of like, again, it kind of brings me back to Ye or Kanye, and how he had that standoff as well. So I don't think his Instagram post was targeting any group, and I find it interesting that all of a sudden it got spun out to where he felt the need to make a public apology. So anyway, I don't know. Maybe you guys are in the chat. You want to say something about that? I'm not sure. Anybody comment? All religious are stupid, and some are very stupider than others. I'm going to put my colander on and pray for you all. They are guilty of starting Christianity. He looks different, so clearly he must be cloned. Do you think? Because like what my argument was that they go, oh, he's so pale, and he, obviously lost weight, he's pale, but he's been sick. So I think you get paler when you're sick, and you also, when you're not in the sun. I don't know. We'll have to see. I haven't jumped on the Jamie Foxx is cloned. He could be cloned though. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I haven't ruled it out really, but I'm more like, maybe then why would, if he was cloned, then why is the clone saying this? Is kind of my, oh, okay. So you're laughing. No, LOL. So no, he's not cloned. Yeah. I don't know. So just a lot of interesting things happening in the world right now. And this is some of the bizarreness. All right. So just to give you a heads up on a couple things that I've been tossing around and doing in the next few days, because I start back to work. I worked over the summer, but first I tutored for the summer session, but now we're starting fall. And then I start back I start back at college this semester. I mean, this month. So my time is going to get busier. So I don't know how much content I'm going to be able to do. I'm sure it's going to slow me down some more than I have participated this summer, but I'll still be doing things. I should make sure that after this video is over that I hook up my Rumble, because I'm going to be doing some different content over there. One of the things that I want to do is I want to look into Pee Wee Herman a bit. And there was some controversy about him that I think that we've kind of forgotten about. And I'm probably going to like inflame people over this, but I'm going to go do that over on Rumble, because I think it's kind of it's important to discuss, right? And then there are I came up with an idea of doing something called the Troll of the Week. I don't know if I can do this weekly. It might just be the Troll of the Month. That'll also take place on Rumble. More specifics into, instead of like when, I want to argue with this one particular troll, but as a study of how they operate and what their MO is and the type of videos that they do, and just the process of what determines somebody as a troll. And so somebody on a regular basis, or a channel on a regular basis, will be deemed the Troll of the Week on Not My Rabbit Hole. So on that note, I am going to say goodbye for now. Have a great weekend. Maybe they cloned some people in the biolab in Fresno, California. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. When they were doing mice, they were doing some sort of genetic modification with mice. So we can't say that we've gone that far in tampering with the DNA of the species on this planet. Yeah, that's weird, but it could be. And then Terrarium Firma says, but why would the real fox say it? Yeah, well, some people believe that they are part of the Israelites. I think some Black people like believe that they're Israelites and they go all the way back. So I'm not saying that's Jamie Foxx, but okay, so I'm gonna say goodbye here. And again, if you want to support my channel, this particular broadcast is not monetized because I have used and shown copyrighted material during this broadcast. So this is just a chat and it's for information purposes only. But if you do like what I did today or share, that's where you can support me. And thank you for everybody who does listen and support my channel. Even if you just want to support it by giving it a thumbs up or a comment, it's greatly appreciated. And of course, I always welcome you to the conversation and interested in what your thoughts are. Okay, so I'm going to get on out of here. Maybe do laundry today. It's a big accomplishment of the day. Okay. Kind of excited. I'm taking a film class this semester, so I'm really looking forward to doing that. And then you have to take that as a prerequisite for the documentary film class, which I'm really interested in. So I'm gonna share the screen here. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the show, Tara. I know I should say this better. Terrarium Firma. Okay. Right. Oh, one more thing. That analysis of the hoax war interview of Thomas Schoenberger that I did, I will probably be restreaming that in 2 parts on my Rumble. So it's going to live over there. I did remove it from this channel. So anyway, that's where it's going to be at. And I will be posting a short, when that happens, I'll be posting a short, like a promo video with the link of where you can join in on it during the live stream. Because I'm going to add to it, like I'll do commentary on that particular live stream that I did. So it won't be like just redoing it again. So anyway, because everything has an update, right? Everything has, when you do something and then time goes by, there's other events that happen and new knowledge that happens. So it's not going to be like it was here on YouTube exactly. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.
downtown. Went up downtown. Went up downtown. I want to save my soul. Went up downtown. I went up downtown. Went up downtown. I save my soul. I save my soul. I save my soul. I save my soul. Save my soul. Won't you save my soul? Save my soul. Save my soul. Save my soul. Won't you save my soul? Save my soul. Save my soul. Save my soul. Won't you save my soul? Save my soul. 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 Went up downtown. I went up downtown. Went up downtown. I was walking out one evening, headed for the riverside, around this fuss and fight.